and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm your host, Cortney Bloomer. Today's show is brought to you by Wired Wednesday, a digital artists club meeting this month on March 23rd with their seminar on how to become a filmmaker in 5 easy steps. This comes just in time to participate in the Carson City citywide short film competition. To be involved, visit Wired Wednesday Digital Artists on Facebook. Our guest this week is Tim Rowe, the State Safe Routes to School Coordinator with the Nevada Department of Transportation. Tim, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
The Safe Routes to School program in Nevada has been around for a number of years.
I think, yeah.
And is celebrating their 7th annual Nevada Moves Day.
That's right. It is 7th annual, and the program's been around, I think, since 2007, I think.
So Nevada Moves Day coming up is a great opportunity for kids in our community and across the state, really, because it's a statewide event.
It's a statewide program, yeah.
To practice safe walking, biking, scootering.
However they get to school, except for by car, yeah.
Right. So tell us a little bit about how this event got started.
Well, normally there is a big event in October, International Walk to School Days, for kids to walk to school, and then there's always been a bike to school event in May. So we wanted something in the middle to keep the kids' interest going and the parents, so we developed Nevada Moves Day in March. And like I said, it's statewide. It's the 3 big Safe Routes to School programs: Carson City, Western Nevada, Clark County, and Washoe County. And we have over 100 schools this year participating. I think every school in Carson City, and quite a few schools in Clark County and Washoe County.
Right. All the Carson City schools, the elementary schools and the middle schools, are going to be doing the event. And a number of schools in the surrounding counties.
In Lyon County, yeah,
Douglas County. So what can we expect on that morning for the kids that are walking to school?
Well, it'll be a nice breath of fresh air, get some exercise, keep healthy. I mean, show the fitness side of it, also to reduce air pollution and congestion at school.
Right. A lot of the traffic in the morning around schools could be eliminated if more kids were walking or biking to school.
And it's been shown that kids, when they do some exercise before school, they actually learn better, and they're in better, behavioral and everything. So it's really good.
Right, it's a great program.
Yep.
Now, Nevada Moves Day is taking place on Wednesday, March 16th.
Correct.
Here in Carson City.
Right.
It really is Nevada Moves Week.
Right, it's all, we can do it all week long, right.
And some of the schools in different areas, like down in Vegas, are going to be having events different days. Here in Carson City, though, focusing on that Wednesday special event.
Mm-hmm. So we want to have the drivers, if they're still out driving, to watch out for the kids, because there'll be more kids out there.
Absolutely.
And to be pedestrian safe, watch, stop at crosswalks, be aware of them at crosswalks, and so just be safe all the way around.
Yeah, for drivers, obviously we want them to keep an eye out for the kids that are going to be walking to school on Wednesday, but really every day.
Yes.
Every day we've got a certain number of kids who walk to school all the time.
Right.
And so being alert for the kids walking to school and families walking to school. And like you mentioned, make sure you're stopping at the crosswalks. But what about for the kids that are walking, and the families that are walking? What are some tips?
Well, stay together, stay with your parents, and it's good for family togetherness too, just to walk to school and talk and get some fresh air and meet different. There would be some NDOT people out there helping and with their teachers.
Muscle-powered people.
Muscle-powered. We tried to get the governor. Unfortunately, the governor and lieutenant governor in Las Vegas on Wednesday, so they can't be. They've done that before.
Right. I think people probably in town remember a couple years ago the governor and the deer jumping out in front of him. That was actually on the national news.
Yes. Well, international. We got stuff from all over the world on that. That's really good. Yeah. But it's a good program just to get the kids out there and, like I say, be connected, see how the kids interact with their friends, and get as many people out there as they can.
Absolutely. And so when they're walking to school, we want to make sure those kids are practicing safe walking behavior. So stopping at every time they cross the street and looking both ways. Making sure that the driver actually sees them.
Right. And make sure the car is stopping before they go out there.
They're actually going to stop before you step out in traffic. You mentioned staying with your family or with your friends.
Right.
Try not to walk alone. Walk, on the sidewalk if there's one available. Don't walk in the street.
Right.
If you have to, though, we want them to walk
facing traffic. Right.
Yeah, the cars should be coming towards you, not coming from behind you, so that you can see them.
And wear something bright.
Absolutely.
Very bright clothing.
Wear something bright. Which brings us to our next thing, which is these kids that walk to school on Wednesday are going to get prizes. And some of those things are going to be some really cool reflectors that they can then use in the future.
Right, they can put on themselves, their bikes. Right, yeah, it's really good. They can use them all along their zipper pulls, just so they can be seen.
Absolutely. So.
And they work.
And there's going to be a number of adult volunteers, like you mentioned, out helping these kids to walk safely, modeling safe behaviors, making sure that they're doing what they need to do. For parents who maybe don't normally have their kids walk to school, who normally would drop their kids off at school, this is a good day to practice maybe walking to school.
And to show you how safe it is and how easy it is. And the kids really enjoy it. That's part of the whole program, is get them out there.
Oh, it's so much fun for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, to watch them arriving to school in these groups on these special days, and they're excited about having walked and getting a prize. It's a lot of fun for the kids. For parents who are not used to walking to school, who want to try it out, what are some tips of things they can do? Like should they practice beforehand?
Yeah, go after school, walk to school, walk the route, and just see what it's like there. Yeah.
Make sure that it's a safe
Right, that they feel totally confident and they know where to go. Right.
Right, and that the kids know where to go. And if you live too far away from school, you can drive partway.
Yeah, drive to a park.
At a park or something like that, and walk from there rather than walking all the way from home if it's too far.
Right. And I used to walk to school when I was a kid. My mom never drove me. And I hope, it was such a good experience, and you have more freedom.
Right, and it's a great chance for kids to kind of learn about responsibility.
Yeah, and be out on their own, and so I hope more people can learn how to do that.
I didn't walk to school as a kid, but I walked to my bus stop.
Yeah, that's good.
Which was about a half mile from my house, and I made that walk every day. But the same principles apply to kids whether they're walking all the way to school or to a bus stop. They still need to be safe, still need to be looking for traffic, looking out for cars. Being aware of
not goofing around,
stranger danger, of course, and things like that. So I think, like you mentioned, it was such a fun time. Walking to the bus stop for me as a kid was a lot of fun. There were other kids in the neighborhood who walked together, and we waited at the bus stop together as a group, and I have good memories of that. And I would love for these kids to be able to experience that too.
Yep.
So the Safe Routes to School program in general, obviously Nevada Moves Day is a big deal, and you mentioned the two other events that happen annually, Walk to School Day in October and Bike to School Day in May. What happens the rest of the year?
Well, one of the things, we try to get safer routes to school, to show, we did some mapping, like with Henderson. We did a lot of mapping of how the kids could get to school and show them how to get there, just to help the parents. If some parents have to drop kids off, they have a good safety plan of how to drop the kids off correctly.
Right, traffic flow around the school and things like that.
And learn, we also teach the new laws like the no U-turns in school zones now, and also not to double park, and just to educate the parents and the teachers. But we also do a lot of safety. We call assemblies. Get the message out there, hand out stuff to the kids. There are booklets that we have, safety booklets, so they know how to walk and ride to school correctly. But it's also, in Clark County, they have a lot of new schools. So the Safer School is involved with planning that new school, so it is easier to walk. There are sidewalks, there are places, and but I think it goes on all year long, as you know. It's a...
Right, it's a year-round program, and lots of education takes place. Many of the Safe Routes to School programs do bike rodeos at the schools.
Show kids how to ride correctly. Some of them teach the kids how to ride.
Right, in some cases the kids maybe haven't had experience riding a bike before. And so the bike trailers that the Safe Routes to School programs have go out to the schools, and then the kids get a chance to ride a bike. And some of them have not ridden a bike before.
And we want to expand that, not just to Safer School, but also teach adults who may not know how to ride.
Right, and how to ride safely.
Right, and comfortably, they feel more comfortable doing it.
And I know that's a big priority statewide right now, making sure that bicyclists and pedestrians are safer. Right. It's been an issue. I think a lot of people have seen on the news the number of pedestrian crashes and bicycle crashes that have been happening in Nevada recently. And so a program like Safe Routes to School can help address that
Right.
by teaching kids from a young age how to interact with traffic and help them develop those good habits.
And keep their habits, because once they learn them as a kid, they'll learn them keep them as an adult, like crossing at crosswalks. You know,
Right.
and not in the middle of the block and not darting out. You know, it really does go a long way.
Absolutely. And it helps people, I think, develop just that awareness. I often, when I'm out working with the kids in Safe Routes to School programs, will tell the kids and their teachers, this is like pre-driver's ed.
Yep.
This is a chance for you to practice, walking or riding your bike today. And someday you're going to be doing this in a car. I think in a lot of the rural areas, people have a very car-centric mindset, and they don't necessarily think that Safe Routes to School is going to work for them. But the skills that those kids are building while they're practicing walking and biking are things that they're going to use no matter what.
Yeah, if they learn good skills walking and biking, they'll be better drivers. It's well known that, and they'll be healthier.
And the health standpoint is something that we haven't really touched on too much, but helping kids meet the recommended daily physical activity amounts goes a long ways towards helping them develop lifelong healthy habits and prevent childhood obesity and that sort of thing.
And they learn better when they're healthier. I mean, it's a better all the way around.
Absolutely. Such a good program. Tim, thanks for being in charge of Safe Routes to School statewide. You work all over the state in some of the rural areas and then work with the 3 other Safe Routes to School programs.
I just oversee them. All of you do such a great job. I don't have to do much. It's really good.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for being here today to share with us. Again, for everybody, Nevada Moves Day is Wednesday, March 16th. It's taking place in the morning before school. If you're driving around Carson City at that time, make sure that you're looking out for the kiddos on their way to school. We're going to have a couple of really big groups of kids walking, I think, and hopefully some of our community members will be able to see that and remember what it was like to walk to school when they were kids.
Okay.
All right. Tim, thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by the Wired Wednesday Digital Arts Club. I'm Cortney Bloomer. We'll see you next week.